Just wanted to show a brief demo of the manager portal here. As you can see on the home page, you're going to get some basic statistics on current calls, minutes, previous month, so you can kind of compare users. Pretty basic. You're going to be able to see what's going on as far as extensions, emails. You can also check out some other settings here if you want to be able to see if a user has call recording enabled. Or anything like that. Very, very customizable. When you pop into a user, if you're an office manager or higher, this is all the type of stuff you're going to see. We'll go over what the users see online in a different video, basic users, but like I said, this is office manager or higher. So we can set different sites. This changes settings for music on hold, things like that. So, and we can also set site settings for directories and stuff like that. When we get into Snap Builder, I'll show you that. Anyways, pretty basic stuff in here. Reset passwords, voicemail pins, change an email address, caller ID. Emergency caller ID has to be done by us, just because it's C911. But like I said, you can see all that stuff in here. Answering rules, you're generally going to reach out to us for these types of changes. But it does give you the opportunity to make these changes. As far as call routing goes, you know, if a user is going to be out of the office for a little while, you can forward that extension over to somebody else. Like I said, we're very happy to take care of all that for you. Just put in a ticket at help at uptimevoip.co. Enable voicemail. It's not enabled on this user. You can see we have a text-to-speech engine here. Very easy to do. And we have multiple voices that you can go through, play these, change stuff. Very easy to do. That way you're not waiting on users to update their voicemails. We actually put them in there by default and then let users update them as needed. Voicemail to email is free as long as you're not using transcription. We can send with a hyperlink for compliance if you have to have HIPAA compliance, CGIS compliance, anything like that, if it's not supposed to be sitting on your email server. And then we can also either move it to trash, saved, or leave as new if you are sending it either with an attachment or a hyperlink. So very easy stuff there. Phones, if the user has multiple phones, you can check them out in here. You can see there's not one in here right now. We'll go ahead and add a dummy one. We'll add a Yealink. Let's add a little nicer phone. We generally go with the T54W. Okay, obviously dummy MAC address, but once we have that added, we can come into Snap Builder and we can actually customize the buttons on the phone without even logging into the phone. We can also set templates, so if your main users, we can do a cascade directory. I'll do the static just so you can see the names here, but generally we do dynamic, that way it adjusts per phone, so you just cascade the directory with the dynamic here. And then we know, hey, there's only, you know, so many users in here, so we clear these out. Now you can set your speed dials or call parks. Call parks are very handy. You know, if people are, especially if they're used to shared line appearance and stuff like that, you know, line 1, line 2, we can come in here and create those for them very, very easily. DTMF and time frame toggle. Time frame toggle is very handy. We can set a night mode to enable or disable a time frame. So like if people want to be able to set the lines from the phone themselves, it's very, very easy to do that. So, and we're very happy to help you do that. Just let us know what you want and we'll handle it for you. User BLFs, that's the same thing that we did up here with the dynamic. It's just automatically based on, you know, what user's not, you know, going to need to see their own BLF on there. So we can add sidecars too, EXP50 for the T54, T5 series actually, and we can cascade BLF over here too. So very easy to do that. There's some directory changes. One thing that, like we talked about on the departments, you can do per department, which is really nice, and you can actually hide individual users too. So very, very customizable to do automatically, so that way you're not creating individual templates for every single user, you know. Makes it pretty easy to broadcast across an entire organization very, very quickly. So let's go back to users. Like I said, that's pretty much everything in here. We can adjust some table settings and stuff like that as far as call recording and stuff like that goes. Conferences, that's an add-on. There's none created for this organization, but we can accommodate up to 99 participants. Auto attendance, we can make as many auto attendants for free as you would like. So if we go into this business hours one that we had already created, same text to speech, you can come in here and create this very easily without having to wait for somebody to record. They can also record with a star code. So if you wanted to call an extension on the domain, you can do that, or you can say, hey, whenever you want to update this, dial star, and then whatever the star number is to record that. Very easy. We can change our buttons, company directory. This one's in call queue, and then this is a part of a multi-level auto attendant. So it plays a message, obviously, here. And then for each level, you can change what happens. No key or unassigned key. We can also do speech keywords. So hey, what are you calling about? You can have all your options in here. If you didn't want to only have the number dialed in their option. So very handy. Call queues, pretty basic stuff here. We can add per agent or per phone. So if you want all the users' phones, say their Snap mobile app or any other apps that they have, if they have multiple office phones, every phone on their extension will ring. Or we can add based on just the physical phone. So you can really pinpoint your call routing. Say if there was like a private line versus a main number or something like that, maybe they don't want it to ring cell phone or something like that, but they want it to ring user phones, desk phones, then that's super easy to do. Max simultaneous calls, by default, it's unlimited. That's about all there is there for a basic ring all call queue. We have other options. And here's where we create our call parks. We can do a linear hunt, so you can actually stagger which phones ring at what time. Let's edit this one just so that we can see it a little bit easier. Pre-queue options, we can change our call recording in here too and add to statistics. I'll show you Snap Analytics here in a moment. Pre-queue options, we always generally require agents. That way, if the internet's offline on the site, you can have it, hey, let's fail over to this voicemail or this user, this phone. It's very versatile. We can change our wait time, stuff like that. NQ options, 30 seconds if nobody answers, forward to a voicemail, and go on to their destination. If you wanted to go to a different user's voicemail, or like a general mailbox, for business hours that gets sent out to multiple users, we can definitely do that. There is an SMS queue option that is available if you would like. It's fairly basic, so generally we have another solution for that for you. Timeframes. Timeframes are going to dictate call routing once we get into inventory here, but I'll just show you the basic, your days of the weeks and times. And then there's also specific times here. So for holidays and stuff like that, we can set those. Music on hold. This will go domain level and then your individual call queues or per site. So if you have multiple sites, it will let you dictate the default on hold music per site. So that way you're not going in, that way if one site has multiple call queues, you're not going in to touch every single one of those call queues. You're just doing the site, and then that propagates downward for each of those. So very easy. And then also we can mix in messages and introductions and stuff like that too. So very handy. And that will also do text to speech. So inventory, this is going to show you your phone numbers. Like I was saying, call routing we generally handle with time of day. And you can prefix your number too. So if you wanted, you got a customer with multiple businesses, but the same staff that answers the phones, you can prepend that with some digits so they know how to answer the phone. So you can see in here our default is just going to ring always to auto attendant here. But if we wanted to add holiday hours above this, we could send to say like a general voicemail that says, hey, we're out of the office, or we can send it to another auto attendant that's, an after hours, hey, we're after hours, press 1 to leave a message, press 2 to, be in contact with the on-call, and then we can actually forward off that to that phone. Very nice. Cancel out of that. Call history, you're going to be able to see incoming calls. You can filter this stuff, caller number, type, department, very granular, and export that. If you would like longer than 30-day call recording retention, you can set up S3 storage actually to forward right over and keep that for yourself as long as you would like. One other thing I did want to touch on the auto attendance here was just the other options that there are. So you can see we can go to a user, and then once we go to that user, you can actually decide if you want to go whichever user that you need there. Conferences, so if you wanted a conference bridge for people to call into, very easy. Call queue, we already saw that. Just select the call queue, and you can actually prefix the caller ID there, so that's really handy. Directory, that is, we don't see that a whole lot. Generally, people just enable dial by extension, and then you just say that, just so that way you're not listing off all your extensions, but it is available. External number, we can also do voicemail and voicemail management. Voicemails where if you had like a after hours, leave a message, somebody will call you back. Next business day, that would be in here. Enhanced voicemail. External number forward, very handy. So that way you don't have to give out that on-call phone number. You can just hit 2. It's very convenient for the end user as well, the caller. Play a message. Generally, we see this for directions to a business or something like that. Repeat prompt, and then add it here, obviously. So that is pretty much it there. I spoke about Snap Analytics. This lets you get pretty granular on your statistics. So you can come in here and add a card. You can change how the data shows, and you can pick the data that actually shows, which is very, very handy. We'll show that a little bit more in depth in another video here. So that is pretty much it. The attendant console is very nifty as well. That is included for free. So you can drag and drop your phone calls into different parks for call routing. You can see your call queues, who's available, who's not, auto attendance. You can make your calls from here. Very handy. We'll go over this in a separate video as well, because it does deserve a little bit more attention. We can also do call pops, stuff like that, which is also included for free. Now, this is not all of our integrations. We actually have an additional integration engine that we integrate with over 300 other applications. These are just built right into the portal. The other one's an application partnership that works extremely well. It's just not integrated into the manager portal. So you can see URL pop. We can select our user, and as long as the user has the manager portal open, it will pop whatever information that you had if you do some type of custom integration with your CRM. That's free. If you want to use the other integration engine, that is a paid for option there. So that is pretty much it. We'll go over the rest in another video here, but that's a brief overview of the Office Manager settings and some of your general functionality of the Uptime VoIP platform. Thank you.